Hey, fabulous. I'm reaching out for a slightly different reason this week. I know I'm usually giving you some tips and tools on how to create your future and overcome all those worries and doubts so they are a thing of yesterday. But I had to bring you a dear friend and colleague of mine, Thomas TJ Colaeizzi, who has invented a product that I am very, very excited about because it gives you really a social media health check. Now, I know so many of you have reached out and say you want to change direction, you want to look at a new career, and you may or may not be aware that every application you make, your social media is going to be scrutinized very heavily. And it may unfairly go against you if there is something in your social media past that you've forgotten about or may no longer be appropriate, or just something that you had a really bad day and you posted. And what I love about TJ is he's invented a product called LifeBrand, which really lets you know for a very nominal fee, for a one-off fee of $10, his AI tools will go across your social media and let you know if there is anything to worry about. So you find it before the HR director does. But I'll let TJ tell you very quickly about this. I was just super excited to share it. TJ, I know you'll explain this much better than me, but so if someone is worried about their background and they're applying for a job and they just want to make sure there's no moths in the closet, how does LifeBrand help them?
It's a really simple solution. Anybody can go to our website, lifebrand.life, and get a free social media health check. You can essentially connect your social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and in a matter of moments, our artificial intelligence will scan all the way back to inception, everything you've ever posted, and identify any potentially problematic posts. You can do it for free without even paying the $10 at first, and we'll tell you for free how many potentially problematic posts you have. And then for only $10, you can unlock all those posts. You can see those posts and right from our platform, hit delete and it's gone. So if it was from June of 2012 on Facebook, you don't need to go back and scroll back and find it on Facebook. You can delete it right from We Speak with Facebook. It removes from Facebook instantaneously. And it's a really good solution for everybody to go check out. The average user that does a free health check ends up deleting over 17 posts. Wow. It's a lot. Yeah. I mean, they're bad people. Everybody automatically thinks the worst. They think, oh, I don't have anything racist or homophobic. It's not like that. The average people, it's just, let's face it, we said or did things when we were younger or maybe when we were having a bad day that don't reflect on who we are now. Companies are looking at your social media, so give yourself an advantage over your competition. Go through, clean it up, make sure there's nothing in there that could potentially hurt your chances of getting hired, or worse yet, could hurt your reputation or brand after you're hired and make the company think differently about you. So it's a very simple tool to help protect yourself.
Yeah, no, I love this. And guys, we've just done a podcast episode. We're just recording this at the end of that. So there'll be a really detailed podcast of Feeling Forwards coming out, which with a great interview with TJ. But we even discussed the example of, let's say you admired an actor or a public figure or a celebrity 10, 15 years ago, who at that time was a model of good behavior. And let's say since then, they've done something very spectacular that is getting pressed for all the wrong reasons. If someone really wanted to make a deal out of it, they could say, well, this is a terrible kind of person because they admire someone that's done these terrible things. And it could have been quite innocent and certainly something you wouldn't remember. So it's that kind of example, isn't it, TJ, that people see to their horror?
Absolutely. It could be something like that. Or I can give you a great example, somebody that was posting negatively about their current or previous job. They have posts scattered over the past 10 years of them saying maybe how much they hate their job, or, oh, it's Monday, I hate going into work on Monday, or my boss is such or whatever. Well, then when you're going and applying for a new job, they're seeing how you spoke of your old job and they might not want to hire you. So great, that's what this person's going to say about us. So our tool even gives you the ability to go and select certain keywords. So let's say you used to work for the ABC firm. You can add ABC firm to our artificial intelligence and it'll find every time you ever mentioned your previous company. And if it was in poor taste, you can delete it. You can put your manager's name. You can put Mr. or Mrs. whatever, or their first name, last name. We'll flag every time you ever spoke with that person. And again, stuff like that is something that people don't really think of. But I can promise you, hiring managers and HR managers are looking. They're looking to see if you're a culture fit for their organization when they're hiring you. And if this is someone that's always posting how they can't wait to get out of work, I can't wait for the weekend, I hate my job, I'm looking for something else, they're going to then just think it's a matter of time before you feel that way at your current job, or that maybe you're not going to be a good culture fit if you're negative, or you speak of your company or coworkers that way. So there's so many different reasons that things could come up that have been on there. You used a great example that maybe you used to follow a certain celebrity or influencer that is then rightfully so gotten in trouble because of stuff. Well, you can, we add to that list where people that now aren't as popular, we would flag it automatically, but you could put in keywords, if it's, someone that you used to post a lot about, and all of a sudden you see something bad happens, type that person's name in, find anything you did, and we can remove it. So, it's just a really easy tool. And Elizabeth, you mentioned the price earlier. It's $10. We wanted to make sure anybody could afford to use this product and help their brand and clean up their reputation. It's not about, on the individual side, our company making money. We make money through our large enterprise and B2B deals, and also just, like most tech companies, the data and the artificial intelligence that we're building. But on the consumer side, for your audience, it's really all about providing them with a really affordable tool that they can go back and look. And like I said, with the average person deleting 17 posts, it's probably worth everybody taking advantage of a free health check and going and seeing what's potentially lurking in their social media closet.
Yes. Well, you had some I've just remembered you mentioned in the podcast episode, TJ, some statistics that really surprised me. The percentage of human resources professionals that are screening social media and not even deciding to interview people.
Yeah. There has been numerous studies, here in the U.S. from SHRM, the Society for Human Resources Management, Career Builder, Indeed, that all show upwards and over 90% of employers in one way or another are snooping or looking at a candidate's social media during the hiring process. That's a really big number. But some of the other stats that came from some of these surveys that were mind-boggling to me was, over 47% of hiring managers said that they won't even bring you in for an interview if they can't find you online, because they think that's suspicious that you're not there. But also, hiring managers know they can learn so much about somebody through social media. I mean, social media is, and not just their LinkedIn, but their Facebook, their Twitter, their Instagram. That's who somebody really is. Folks can put a great resume together or BS their way through an interview. Social media is a great way to really learn about a candidate. Over 54% of companies have not hired somebody because of something they've seen on their social media. So over half of companies, that means people that are looking for jobs, chances are 1 out of 2 jobs that you apply for have dismissed people because of their social media. So don't give them a chance to dismiss you before you even get to the door, or you might not even get called in for the interview because they saw something on there. So it's not going away. Companies are going to keep utilizing social media during the hiring process, whether you like it or not, fair or not. So combat that and, be prepared, make sure, you wouldn't show up to an interview in a ripped up shirt and, a bathing suit and flip flops, like you're getting ready to go to the beach. People wear a nice suit or, a nice blazer because that's your first impression. Well, that's not your first impression anymore. The first impression is social media. And they're seeing the bad side, that potentially, not that side you want them to see as your first impression. So before you get worried about what you're going to wear to that interview to make that strong first impression, remember that impression was already made. And, hopefully it was a good one. And hopefully you cleaned that social media before you went and applied for the job.
Yes. And then rather than, sending out so many emails or applications and then saying, what's wrong with me? It may be as simple as when you do a health check, it's like, oh, okay, that was the problem.
Look, they're going to Google you and they're going to see what comes up when they Google you. What typically comes up for most people is their social media handles. A lot of people don't have a real extensive background of articles that were published on them or whatever it may be, but they have social media. Those are the first things that are going to pop up. And sometimes it's the posts that get the most traction that are going to rank the highest on a social media platform or on a Google search. So maybe that one thing that you posted 10 years ago that was inappropriate, but it got a lot of retweets or a lot of comments or a lot of people talking about it because of this style of it, that's going to be the one most likely to be seen. So again, it really, you have nothing to lose by taking advantage of a free social media health check, seeing what's on there. And, we're hypersensitive. We flag everything. So we want to give you the, you might not care if you use certain profanity or certain words, but we'd rather flag it, give you the chance, to see, even any picture that has somebody holding alcohol, we'll flag it for alcoholic content. Maybe it's not a big deal if you're at a wedding and you have a drink in your hand, but maybe that drink was in your hand when you were 19 years old at a college party. I mean, there's just, we make it so that at least you're in control. And one of my favorite things that people ask us is they say, how come you don't just automatically delete the harmful posts for us? Why do you give us a say on what gets deleted? And that's because if we automatically deleted stuff, that would be censorship. And we want no part of that. We're not trying to be the judge and jury of what's right and what's wrong. We're just trying to say, hey, look, these are the types of things that have potentially gotten people in trouble. Don't delete it if you don't want to. But if you do, at least you now have the option of knowing it's there. And you can kind of rest easy that when you are looking for a job or trying to market yourself or brand yourself, that there's nothing on there that other people are seeing that could be hurtful.
Yeah. No, look, it's great advice. And I will let you know when the podcast episode is coming out because there's so much more wisdom. But in the meantime, and look, by the way, I put this email newsletter together with TJ because I think he's a great guy. I love the product. There is no affiliate marketing relationship here. I just think it's something that gives you the choice okay, let's have a look. Let's see that just getting the check is free. And then, if you don't know that this tool is available and LifeBrand is completely unique and standalone in this regard and is leading the market, if you don't know this is available, you can't use it. So what does my friend Tony Robbins say? Knowledge is power. So this gives you the knowledge of what is out there, and then you can make the choice about what you do. Anyway, stay fabulous. I will be in touch next week with another newsletter. Thank you so much, TJ. And I can't wait for everyone to learn more about you.
Thank you so much for having me today.